And just to say a word, as I get a little older as the years, that over time, we take our hopes for the future that initially when we're young, we invest in ourselves. And as we get older, we invest them in you. And so for me, every year, and in particular this year, it gives me a wonderful feeling to see you run with ideas and makes me hopeful about the future.
My name is Isabel Bart. I'm the Managing Director for Academies for Social Entrepreneurship. But thank you for the support and the partnership from everyone at UCLA, especially Professor Andy Atkinson. We couldn't make this happen without him and without the support team. So thank you very much. Thank you to our funders as well, without who we couldn't make this happen. And I'm really proud to see since 2009 the amazing impact. We've supported close to 300 nonprofit organizations in this program. And we're able to generate with earned income from these nonprofits over 10 million.
I thank Andy and UCLA. Isabel, I've been with the program about 14 years. And I can honestly say that participation in this program with UCLA has probably been the greatest part of my life. The students at UCLA are a godsend and a gift, and the program literally creates an opportunity to make a difference that you just can't, there's nothing you can say. So with that, I'd like to introduce our judges. Grace Kim's career reflects her commitment to her personal theory of change, mobilizing the power of everyday people to create a more just society where everyone has a chance to thrive. Pass, Grace?
No, I would say by day, I'm a proud Bruin. I'm a proud Bruin in the sense of being able to run a strategy firm that works with high growth organizations, and particularly being able to support purpose-driven businesses. So this is a very special opportunity for me to have seen some of the presentations. I'm really just like delighted to see that UCLA continues to create exceptional opportunities for folks to see the opportunity to take what you value and what you care about in the world, and also see how that might be able to exist with a business mandate as well.
Great. Chris McLaughlin. Chris McLaughlin is an Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of Kestra Holdings. She leads all elements of integrated marketing for an ecosystem of financial firms delivering wealth management solutions for financial professionals with 123 billion in assets under advisement and 53 billion assets under management. McLaughlin previously served as Chief Marketing Officer of the IBM Partner Marketing Ecosystem. She drove the marketing and communication efforts for the next generation partner ecosystems and IBM's channel business, with a focus on growing business partner momentum in IBM cloud and AI technologies. Say something for us?
I think one of the things that we all share is passion and optimism, and the Social Enterprise Academy is proof positive of that. So I'm excited to be a part of this. I am, along with Grace, a very proud Bruin. I serve on the board of directors for the Alumni Association, and excited to get started and hear from each of the groups.
Matthew Saucedo. Matthew is a co-founder of Prism AI, which leverages his expertise in product management and product marketing to develop cutting-edge solutions for music production and brand development. Prior to this role, he led the core product adaptation team at Meta, driving global product adaptation and significantly increasing partner engagement, growing partner revenue by over 30% year over year through partner programs and predictive partner discovery tools. Before joining Meta, he was the co-founder and head of product for Popster.
I think this is my third year here. It's always a highlight to see all the amazing work that each of the teams puts in. So really looking forward to getting to see all the amazing things today. Thanks for having me.
Veronica Melvin. Veronica Melvin is the CEO and president at LA Promise Fund, where she guides a dedicated, reform-minded educational organization with a mission to raise private funds to improve public education opportunities across the Los Angeles County, while simultaneously leading a network of schools in South Los Angeles. Passion, activism, empowerment, and learning are four key qualities that are present throughout Veronica's dedicated work in the fields of education, health for children and families. She has served as a nonprofit and educational leader for more than 20 years. She has worked at policy and implementation levels to ensure historically underrepresented Black and Latinx students have access to outstanding education and enrichment opportunities that propel them to success in college, career, and life.
Being here, more excited to see these presentations. Thank you for the invitation.
We had 10 organizations participate in the Academy this year. We had a previous round of competition where a previous panel of judges chose 3 to be finalists. So we are going to start this evening with presentations from those 3 finalists. They'll have 8 minutes to present. We'll have a few minutes of comments from judges. We'll maybe ask 2 judges for comments on each one. And then a minute or 2 for the judges to note their scores. And after we have gone through the 3 finalists, we will have the other 7 organizations each give a 3-minute fast pitch.
Hello, judges. Thank you for being here. My name is Elise, and I'm here on behalf of court-appointed special advocates, also known as CASA of Orange County. I'm joined by my team and CASA board member, Colin Israel, who is here to tell you a little bit about CASA's mission.
Hi, everyone. My name is Colin Israel. I'm currently on the CASA board and was previously a volunteer court-appointed special advocate. 10 years after deciding to volunteer as a court-appointed special advocate, I was sitting in the audience watching my CASA kid, Michael, receive his high school diploma. Reflecting back, it was hard to believe how far he had come. Michael was 8 when the police came. It was midnight, his mom was high, and he had been beaten up by her boyfriend. He had 10 minutes to collect his things, throw them in a black trash bag. After that, his life changed forever. I received 40 hours of training before getting paired with Michael. This didn't prepare me for the role that Michael needed me to play. Michael's new reality included a bunch of overworked and disconnected adults doing their best to fill a parental role. Michael's social worker had over 30 cases and was lucky to spend a couple hours per week focusing on his well-being. Michael was a number in the system. There are 400,000 kids in foster care in the US. They get moved from home to home and shuffled between schools and social workers. They're all alone. In the first year after being placed in foster care, Michael was in his 3rd home, assigned his 2nd social worker, and attending his 2nd new school. He had a learning disability and suffered from abuse. He was 8 and just trying to survive. After I was sworn in as an officer of the court, Michael and I started a journey together. We met up almost every weekend. We went to the beach, to parks, the library, or just for walks. We talked about everything. I was the only permanent adult in his life. It was my job to ensure that his best interests were reflected in the decisions made on his behalf by adults who barely knew him. Michael was adopted by his grandparents when he was 14. We stayed in touch. I attended his graduation and cried when he accepted his diploma, and again when he left for college a few months later. Sometime after that, he told me I was the only father that he had growing up, and he was my only child. Children in foster care have a 58% high school graduation rate. With a CASA volunteer, that jumps to 92%. 1 in 4 kids formerly in foster care become homeless within 1 year after emancipation, and 70% of the prison population have been in foster care system at some point in their lives. Providing supervision and support to volunteer advocates breaks the cycle and costs about $4,000 per child per year. There are over 200 children in Orange County alone that are on the wait list to receive a CASA volunteer. We believe that this project will help raise money and awareness for this important cause.
Thank you so much, Colin, for sharing your and Michael's story. I think we can all agree that foster youth in this country deserve better. Many foster youth are forced to carry their belongings in a trash bag when they move from placement to placement. This gave our team the inspiration for Foster Love, a line of essentials that everyone, including foster kids, need. Foster Love not only raises money for CASA, but it also supplies one item to a foster child for every item purchased. The first item we plan to launch is a tote bag before expanding to other consumer products. We plan to utilize the existing connections that CASA and its board members have to efficiently and effectively produce and distribute these items. We will use a seasonal model with 2 seasons per year. Each season, a new product will be launched, allowing us to continuously grow and expand the brand. Some potential items include t-shirts, sweatshirts, water bottles, and duffel bags. For the pilot product, tote bags, we decided to partner with Love Bags, a retailer that creates high-quality, washable, and fashionable totes. Inside the bag will be an educational tag that shares CASA's mission and promotes volunteering. As it says on the tag, for every tote bag purchased, a duffel bag will be donated to a child in need to help foster youth ditch the trash bags. In addition to this immediate social impact, our venture will also increase awareness of CASA, bringing in new volunteers to pair with the foster youth that are currently on CASA's waitlist. It will also raise significant funds to support child mentor activities, volunteer recruitment, and training.
The CASA network and Southern California business landscape together provide Foster Love a unique opportunity to expand through collaboration. For example, Love Bags will feature our Foster Love totes on their e-commerce site and resell their wholesale customers like Whole Foods and the Container Store. CASA and its board of directors have close ties with the community, including the Angels and Chargers franchises. Foster Love hopes to sell co-branded totes at their retail store and feature the bags as game day giveaways to all attendees. Kappa Alpha Theta has a national partnership with CASA, and 17 sorority chapters have already committed to buying over 1,700 bags as part of their philanthropy program. We expect this channel to expand nationally within Kappa Alpha Theta and hope to extend this channel to other Greek chapters as well. CASA of Orange County hosts multiple fundraising events annually. We plan to sell the bags directly at these events and on the CASA website. We'll go to the next slide. Foster Love is collaborating with Love Bags to create our first tote bag. Love Bags will manage supply chain and logistics. Erica, CASA's Chief Development Officer, Love Bags, and I will leverage our CASA and community networks to market and distribute our first shipment. As a consultant in the consumer products industry, I have several retail and wholesale customers looking for philanthropic opportunities for future development.
Okay, let's now take a look at our financials. We are asking for $33,000 to make our social enterprise possible. This amount would cover our first year costs of goods sold and operational expenses. Due to our partnership with Love Bags, costs are extremely low for the pilot product, as Love Bags will cover management, administration, storage, shipping, and distribution. This allows us to profit almost $80,000 in the first year. We will pursue similar deals with future manufacturers for the other products. Immediately after the first year, we will start donating 20% of proceeds to support CASA, and about 80% of net revenue will be reinvested in the venture so that we can grow and offer more products. This allows us to have significant growth within 5 years, as this model shows, and for us to be a sustainable long-term venture. By year 5, we will have donated enough funds to CASA to support the advocacy of 107 youth in foster care. This is Foster Love. Thank you so much for your time, judges.
Thank you for that. That was well timed. We offer the judges a couple of minutes to offer comments. There's not so much an opportunity for questions, but CASA, if you don't mind stopping the sharing of your screen, we can ask, maybe I'll ask Grace Kim, do you have any comments or thoughts you'd like to share?
Reorienting myself, I thought it was really thoughtful in terms of, because I've done some work in this sector, particularly the piece of thinking about like the one-to-one model is something that consumers are already familiar with. So it makes sense. But what really stood out to me is how you're able to highlight the experience of foster youth, which is really when they travel from home to home, it's with a trash bag. And there is something really poignant in terms of the educational ability with an introductory product that is the tote. And given the conversations you've already had with potential buyers at that kind of volume, to support an initial pilot of this is really strong. So I thought that was compelling.
So thank you. Chris, do you have comments?
Yes, thank you very much. I thank you for the presentation, and more importantly, thank you for all of your dedication to get to this point and to the CASA program. I thought the way you opened your presentation with bringing the situation to life and describing Michael was very compelling and very strong. And Colin, thank you for everything you did.
So thank you. Veronica?
Thank you. Great, compelling, succinct presentation. Well done. Appreciate the combo between the nonprofit and the board member and the students. Also want to acknowledge all the voices that don't present and the one that does. I would encourage, in addition, I liked all the elements to continue to one-to-one match that Grace talked about on the other products that you're releasing in subsequent years, because all of those get to the fact that foster youth don't have adequate backpacks and supplies for schools, don't have adequate anything really. But so just continue that storytelling of the trash bag to the tote bag as you release your products to benefit students and continue to make it a compelling marketing pitch.
So thank you. And Matt?
Yeah, so I think it's a really interesting problem that you're looking to solve. I'm familiar with the foster care system somewhat, but really being able to hone in on this idea of helping folks in the foster care system feel like these transition experiences aren't so isolating or scary or uncertain. I think that you're really striking at a very vulnerable moment, I think, in that experience, and that feels incredibly meaningful. And then also from more of a business point of view, I think some of the business development you guys have done is really impressive.
All right, well, thank you. So I invite the judges now. I think you have a online scorecard to enter scores. And so we'll give you a minute to do that. Think of this as like a swimming and diving competition or gymnastics where the judges have to score. And while that's going on, I will ask our second group, game heads, to start sharing their slides and get ready. But I'm going to, have you hold off for a bit until the judges are done scoring. So game heads, would you go ahead and share your slides? So hold on for a second. So judges, I'll give you another 20 seconds and then ask the game heads to kick off. Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and start talking and I'll start the timer.
Great, perfect. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Eileen, and I'm accompanied by the Multimedia Program Coordinator at GameHeads, Zora Mercado, to talk about GameHeads' Talent Accelerator venture.
Hello, so my video is blocked due to Zoom, but my name is Zoram, and well, let me talk about GameHeads. GameHeads is special because we take in and train our students no matter what their skill level is. On the left, we have Melissa, who is from Mexico, had 0 computer experience, and joined the program when she was in her early 20s. On the right, we have Rebecca, who started as a little freshman in a homeschool setting, raised by her single mom. And they both joined GameHeads as a way to find community, find friends, and explore their career interest in digital media. Through GameHeads, they received college counseling, mentorship, professional training, and applicable professional experience. But what's most impressive about GameHeads is that neither of them have completed their bachelor's degree yet, but have entered or received full-time jobs with our studios. And that is unheard of, especially at PlayStation and Double Fine Xbox Studio. And GameHeads is free, and these students are making more money than I do. So what's up with that, and what is GameHeads? GameHeads is an innovative program that provides marginalized youth with hands-on education and training to prepare them for their careers in tech entertainment, including but not limited to film production, video game design, industry software for coding, visual art, animation, storyboarding, collaborative team efforts, and the entire workflow. Our vision is to train the next generation of game developers while evaluating and elevating the voices of youth, as well as preparing them for their college, career, and civic life. We're the whole package, and it works.
Evidently, GameHeads has had a major impact in their community. providing underserved youth with the resources and mentors that they need to attain an unparalleled education in the gaming and tech space. However, education is only the first step to providing a promising future. The problem is that students nowadays don't have enough opportunities to showcase their skills and build a career. Even within traditional universities, how many of us struggle getting jobs? Most of the time, filling out job applications and submitting resumes feel like applying to a black hole. This only emphasizes the importance of gaining work experience, especially through internships. Data shows that 72% of students who complete an internship receive return offers. They also earn 20 grand greater starting salaries and receive twice as many job offers after graduating on average. Meanwhile, 2/3 of students who didn't wish they had, and 45% are underemployed even 10 years later. For marginalized students who still have little to put on their resume, how can they get their foot in the door and transition to the tech and gaming industry? Our solution, GameHead's Talent Accelerator. Our Talent Accelerator is an extension of GameHead's educational programs, focusing on granting students client-facing opportunities for professional development. This solution leverages GameHead's existing partnerships with world-renowned video game companies to land GameHead students paid contract work. Everyone benefits from this venture. GameHead students get to demonstrate their talents, gain real-world experience, and build towards a full-time role. GameHead's partners experience firsthand the creativity of students as well as their drive to prove themselves. GameHead furthers their mission and earns a profit to reinvest into their students. Based on projected revenue for the gaming industry in 2024, we identified the total addressable market of this venture to be $282 billion. When considering GameHead's geography, industry trends, and past contract work that students have done, we identified the serviceable obtainable market to be $25 million. GameHead has a proven track record of delivering quality work in motion capture, video production, and video game development. It's clear that the market for this venture is there. Now it's time to capitalize on it.
So for some clarity on how our program works is that we accept students ages 15 and 25 free of cost and have industry leaders teach game development. Our students don't tend to graduate or leave the program until they get a job within the industries. Even so, a lot of our advanced students who have been in the program 4+ years still stick around and take our advanced free courses. I'm talking about students who have their bachelor's degrees and have had full-time positions in these tech companies. So what do we do with our advanced students who want more challenges, more portfolio work, and want to give back to GameHeads? We put them to work, get high-paying contracts, and split the revenue. It's a win-win for everyone. As for the games and film industries to continue to merge, we find ourselves with a lot more potential for contracts, from using video games, visual effects for music videos, short films, or commercials, or providing video game development services such as animation, programming, or concept designs. And while the future is limitless as we continue to train our students in film production through video game workflow and vice versa.
Our venture is cyclical and self-sustaining, providing a scalable monetization stream. Whenever a client comes to GameHeads, a project manager helps sort out the project scope and timeline. Then, GameHead students take part of the development team and engage in hands-on learning experiences. This leads to more clients coming into GameHeads and more capacity to enhance student skills, all of which enables GameHeads to continue doing better at what they already do. We can rest assured that our venture achieves long-term growth for students, clients, and GameHeads as a whole. And we know that our venture holds a lot of potential because GameHead students have an unparalleled set of skills and mentorship. Students have designed mobile games uploaded on the Google Play Store, created web-slinging Spider-Man suits with PlayStation, and gamified experiences with for-profits like California 100. GameHead students deliver industry-quality work, all the while sharing their unique identity and perspectives into their art. From the work that we've already accomplished, it's clear that we have what it takes to make this venture win.
And what's dope is that GameHeads has everything that we need to get started like yesterday. The passion, the grit, equipment, training, network, and mentorship. Our co-founder, Damon Packwood, has over 18 years of experience within the tech and gaming ecosystem and has close relationships with some of the largest industry leaders. We've earned the trust of major gaming companies like PlayStation, Google, Xbox, Riot Games, and have even signed 5 to 7-figure contracts. The Tech and Bay Area community has validated our quality of work. And as we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, we realize that we've created a healthy, sustainable community that will ensure that this venture succeeds.
We've based our venture financials on 3 main assumptions. First, a 30-70 revenue split between GameHeads and students, which balances support for disadvantaged students as well as long-term profitability. With low total expenses, Gameheads can maintain a 20 to 25% net profit margin. Secondly, in the first year, we plan to undertake a minimum of 4 projects with an average revenue of $280K, a number that we got through similar past projects. Previously, Gameheads has had to turn down about 4 to 5 clients per year simply due to a lack of capacity. This demonstrates the possibility of doing 5 projects even in the first year. Third, we anticipate 35% year-over-year growth from year 1 to 3, driven by an increase in the number of projects, project quality, and average price. But we'll need your help to get started. $40K to cover costs for the first 6 months, including salary for management, software subscriptions, and more. This initial funding will accelerate our venture to scale quickly and efficiently.
So if you're looking to invest in the venture that's profitable, self-sustaining, and provides impactful professional development opportunities for students, stop looking. Delete Google, Bing, Yahoo, or whatever, because your search is kind of over. At the end of the day, Gameheads is not just about creating video games. It's about creating futures and building culture. Whether you're a partner looking for a talented group of students to do some virtual production work, some film, a tech enthusiast able to donate high-end equipment like an LED wall, please, or a donor with an extra 40, 80, 100K to spare, join us in leveling up the next generation of tech innovators and game changers. Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Veronica, as a judge, may I, if you stop sharing the screen there, Gameheads, and then, and I'm glad we got you on screen. So Veronica, do you have any comments as a judge?
Sure. One, love the concept. We believe deeply in internships and know that students who receive an internship, which is something what Gamesheads is doing, have a 94% chance of obtaining a 4-year degree. So huge area of growth, especially for young children, young students and students of color that have difficulty accessing those opportunities. On that note, I don't think I heard the pitch on serving young students of color, and I think that's intended in your work, but I don't want to make that conclusion, but I encourage you to uplift that if that is indeed one of the areas of focus, especially in a tech sector, in a STEM sector, in a video gaming sector, that is deficient in both students, employees of color and females.
So thank you very much.
Good job.
Matt, may I ask? If you
Yeah,
have-
sure. Yeah, so I think it's a really interesting model. It's nice. You made a comment about how, film and kind of media and gaming are kind of becoming combined, and I think you're making a really good point. It's always nice to create internship opportunities in that space, especially considering that's how a lot of folks start their careers, especially focusing on underserved communities. So I think you're playing in a really interesting space that has a lot of tailwind behind you in terms of, I think those industries are going to continue to grow, and it's very exciting to see what happens here.
Well, thank you very much. Chris?
Hi, everybody. Nice job. Well done. I started out in life as an intern, and it's great to see this concept come full circle, and great to see that these are paid internships and the focus on STEM. Nice job.
Thank you. And then Grace?
Zoram and Eileen, your energy was so infectious. All the presentations have been great so far, but there's a lot of love coming through, the idea, the concept, the sophistication of thinking. So I'm coming out of this with a bit of a bias because I spent the day in a board meeting about workforce development, specifically about apprenticeships for the state of California. And one of the things that really stood out about your specific pitch and presentation is that it's a really big idea. It's a really big idea for the organization. And it represents not just a small project on the side or a pilot to test, but a significant expansion of the strategy of the organization and how you run and where you're making big bets. So I wanted to just validate it's a really exciting direction in terms of what it means as a strategic evolution and expansion for Gameheads. And also validate then, I know this is the spirit of social enterprise here with the nonprofits. A lot of philanthropy is changing this year and in the next years in terms of where those grant making dollars, how much money is available like that. And so with the big idea that you have for the nonprofit, the opportunity to begin to move into more revenue drivers that aren't reliant as much on philanthropic dollars, like, you know, grants that foundations are providing you is really interesting. And my only small suggestion would be like where you want to start, because you already have like the full picture of what it could look like, but really giving yourself space for like a real MVP, the pilot version, where you begin.
Well, thank you very much. So I'll ask the judges to do their scoring. Hopefully I gave you enough time last time. And thank you to Game Heads. And our third organization presenting is a finalist, Grow Cycling Foundation. If you would share your slides, and then I'm going to give them a little bit of time. We'll just sit until the judges have had time to score. So Grow Cycling, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jury.
And I'm Elliot.
And we're Grow Cycling Foundation.
Imagine that thing that you love to do most, that thing that brings you freedom and clears your mind, that makes you feel alive. Now imagine not being able to do that.
For Kayla, that thing is riding her bike. She's smiling now in this picture, but it wasn't always this way. Despite all efforts, nothing seemed to raise her spirits when she was stuck inside, isolated in virtual worlds, unmotivated to do anything, until she discovered a simple solution: riding a bike. On those hard days, the only way to lift her spirits was to ride it out. And to give Kayla these moments of freedom, her mom used to drive her over an hour to find a safe place to ride.
And Kayla isn't just another girl. She represents the reality for millions of kids in urban areas who don't have access to green space or safe streets right outside their door.
Because for these millions of Americans, a bike is more than transportation. It is health, fun, community, and freedom.
This is why the Grow Cycling Foundation exists. People ask me, why does the bike matter? Or how can the bike make social change? We believe that not only can it create change, but it is the best tool to do so. These are our 4 pillars. Community, so that girls like Kayla have support and friendship from their peers. Opportunity, because a bike is transportation and it leads to lifelong prosperity. Education, where we have data that attendance is up because of our middle school cycling programs. And this is what access looks like at scale. In addition to our corporate partners, more than 10,000 individuals contributed to a $1.2 million raise to build the Inglewood pump track. This is how we knew there was initial demand to build LA's first and only pump track. It's like a Disneyland for bikes. It provides kids and adults of all skill levels and abilities access to this unique experience every single time they ride, uniting families and friends because everyone belongs here, no matter where they're from.
Kayla's story is the one that we heard firsthand when we visited the pump track. She rides there weekly, just 5 minutes from home, and her mom told us that it saved her daughter's life.
But she's riding a bike that's 3 sizes too small. Yet again, we find ourselves stuck, helplessly watching Kayla lose the one thing that gives her freedom.
And that's why we're launching the Grow Cyclery, a 640 square foot building constructed of 2 shipping containers. It will serve the pump track similar to how a ski lodge complements the slopes. Just as a novice skier needs a reliable place to learn the sport and enjoy the mountains, we noticed that the pump track was missing that rallying place of community. Constructed right next to the Inglewood pump track, we will offer cycling lessons, bike rentals, and maintenance from a trusted source. The Grow Cyclery will have family activities like painting classes, as well as food and beverages, all at an affordable cost. It's a comprehensive hub for all things cycling.
But here's the game changer. What we earn at the Grow Cyclery will flow right back into the community through initiatives like providing bikes for children, sponsoring families who can't afford our classes or clinics, providing paid internships for 14 to 24-year-olds. We're creating opportunities and opening doors. The Grow Cyclery isn't just a place, it's a catalyst for accessibility in the Los Angeles biking community.
Now let me tell you about another young child with a dream. Elliot Jackson was 4 years old when he was given a hand-me-down bike from his older brother, Andrew.
Yeah, Jury, it's crazy that just because I got that hand-me-down bike, I've been able to travel and compete for my country, that I get to commentate for millions of people on Red Bull TV, or that I was just in the LA Times with 4 girls who now have a place to ride it out, just like Kayla. The Growth Cyclery will make my story possible for everyone. Plus, I mean, I get to work with my mom, who's the president of Grow and one of 3 women to found and own an investment bank in the late 90s. So our finances are in very good hands. But I think what's been essential for us is that we deeply integrate with our partners and their resources. Red Bull gave us $1 million ad slot on their most popular halftime show. Adidas believes in growth so much that they chose to be the exclusive provider of cycling gear for the entire Inglewood School District. This year, Qualcomm employees advocated for Grow to access their mental health grant. Our world-class partnerships are our first competitive advantage.
So what makes our business model so uniquely successful? Well, it works exactly like a ski lodge. Our pump track serves as the slope, aggregating demand through a fixed asset that's already paid for. We have inventory. Only ours is provided through sponsorships at low or no cost other than promotion. Labor is subsidized through partner employee volunteer programs, and staff is hired directly from the community. This model avoids typical retail risk: no rent, built-in demand, low-cost labor, and high margins.
Now, our competitive differentiation comes from our ability to provide a more holistic experience for the entire family. We provide affordable bike rentals as well as fun activities for adults while their kids are supervised. And whatever way you choose to ride a bike, there's only one place that you can enjoy the thrill of the Inglewood pump track, and that's at the Grow Cyclery.
Our second competitive advantage is our real estate. The Grow Cycling Foundation is a strategic partner with the City of Inglewood with a 99-year lease at only $1 per year. The city covers all maintenance and utilities. Not to mention, the Grow Cyclery will be the only food and beverage option in a 55-acre park that hosts events and soccer, basketball, and football games. Our unique position makes us the go-to choice for visitors. It's like having a location monopoly.
Yeah, I mean, beyond any other growth opportunities, we are literally a sustainable business with just food and beverage.
Customer acquisition is our third competitive advantage. Over the last 9 months, we've had over 75,000 visitors. This is all from word of mouth. We've spent $0 on marketing. This incredible demand has allowed us to be confident in our projections to grow to 250,000 visitors and get direct feedback that the community wants the Grow Cyclery. Now, let's talk financials. We are seeking $304,000 to fund our venture. $195,000 will be used as capital expenditure to build the Grow Cyclery, and the remaining $109,000 will pay for inventory, first-year wages for a part-time manager, and operational expenses. Our fourth and biggest competitive advantage is that we are self-sustaining. After the initial funding, the Grow Cyclery will be fully profitable without ongoing investment.
Yeah, I mean, unlike most nonprofits who are forced to spend their time writing grants and fundraising, we are creating an impact machine. The more profitable we are, the more impact we can make. For example, in a community with 95% people of color, we can truly make a dent in the prevalence of diabetes and obesity through safe and fun exercise. Rentals at scale mean that parents who couldn't afford to buy or fix expensive bikes, now they don't have to. Our school research programs show that kids who ride the pump track spend 2 hours less time on their screens each day. Scholarships mean that we can provide opportunities for thousands of Kaylas and Elliots who wouldn't have had the chance otherwise.
And with the success of the Grow Cyclery, you can imagine us expanding to all 75 of our contractors' pump tracks nationwide to provide access to cycling, which almost all urban communities struggle with. The Grow Cyclery is the first beacon of opportunity for community building and cycling. Together, we can build a brighter future, one pedal stroke at a time. So investors, are you ready to grow cycling with us? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so I'm going to ask judges for comments, but this is our third of the finalists. So Chris, may I ask for your reactions?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. It's fantastic to see an organization focusing on health and wellness and being proactive and empowering people to start lifelong habits. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Matt?
Very clean presentation. I like the competitive advantage component. It's a really interesting model. I've never been on a pump track, but it looks like a lot of fun. And the idea of building community, like in a physical space, I think is important when it comes to sports and hobbies. So I get where you're going with it, and I think it's really interesting.
So thank you. Grace?
I thought it was a fantastic presentation. All have been so far. And what really stood out for me was something that Matt commented on. You did a remarkable job in sharing that you did your research and understanding differentiation with the concept that you have, really painting the picture of what it would look like in terms of, and it seemed very much like you're going to do this no matter what, which is really exciting in terms of what it will mean for communities that you're serving. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And Veronica?
Yeah, great presentation. Well done all. Love riding a bike myself. So extra excited about your venture. Just encourage you to continue your partnership with the school district. And just 2 tips. One of the things that we always have to worry about when we establish something that's geared towards kids and family is usage during the day. So would encourage that partnership to look at how PE classes can fulfill their requirements by getting to use your facility during the school day. And then also on after school and tapping into Inglewood's after school providers and or after school funds. And just an extra tip, there's funds available from the federal government as a result of the COVID pandemic that are expiring by September, and everyone's trying to use them. And there's restrictions that they can only be used after school. So I'd encourage you to ask Inglewood if this would count as an approved after school activity, if there was any possibility that you can access some of those.
Well, thank you. It's great to get funding ideas. All right. So I'll ask the judges to fill out the score sheets for the final presentation. After they're done with that, Archie is going to take them to a separate Zoom room to do their deliberation. And we here in the main room will turn to what we call our fast pitches. So you, the audience, are going to hear from the other 7 organizations that participated in the Academy. They're each going to give a 3-minute fast pitch. And you, the audience, will then have an opportunity to vote at the end of those 7 fast pitches for your audience favorite, for a $5,000 award based on your voting. So you, the audience, get to select who the audience favorite is among the presentations. I will note 2 things. Those of you who are in the main session as panelists, you don't get to vote, you just get to present. And the second thing is the poll that we use for you to vote for the audience favorite will only appear after all 7 organizations have presented. So if somebody early on catches your eye or you think that one's your favorite, make sure to write the organization name down so that you're ready to vote at the end when the time comes. So with that, I would like to invite our first organization doing the fast pitch is Zakat Foundation. And what I'd like to invite the representative of Zakat Foundation is to just say a few words so that you come to the front of everyone's screen. And of course, turn on your video.
And judges, follow me back to where you started this morning.
Hi, hello, test.
Okay, good. So you hold on, and I'm going to start a 3-minute timer when you start presenting. So when you're ready, go ahead.
Thank you. We all have a vision for our future. Maybe some of you wanted to become a successful entrepreneur, get a stable job, or start a family, but no one foresees tragedy. Noor, who had a vision to grow old with her children, But all of that suddenly came crashing down when she lost 2 children due to the disastrous earthquake that hit Turkey and northern Syria. What would you do if you lost not one, but both of your children, as well as your whole life as you knew it? How would you feel? Noor turned to Zakat Foundation of America for help and joined in one of our vocational training programs where she learned the skill of sewing. At the end of this program, she said that Zakat Foundation had, and I quote, lifted my spirits and helped me feel better about my condition. My name is Amina Demir. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Zakat Foundation of America, where our mission is to help all those in need around the world, like Noor, regardless of religion, nationality, political affiliation, or identity. We currently operate in 45 different countries and provide assistance ranging from emergency relief to educational opportunities, such as our vocational training programs. Listening to Noor's story and hearing her concerns, we realize that we have a prime opportunity to help those in need by expanding upon our work through our vocational training programs. We'll be launching Zakat Shops, a fair trade e-commerce platform that will employ the refugees who graduate from our vocational training programs to create handmade goods like pots, jewelry, or cultural clothing, ultimately to be sold in the USA. Through this program, we'll be able to expose these refugees' work in American markets, allowing them to earn more money, than they would have selling simply to their local communities. By tapping into our large donor base, we believe that we will adequately have enough market to generate roughly $30,000 to $50,000 in profit within the first few years of opening. This revenue would not only help increase awareness for the work of our vocational training programs and the work that we do on a global scale, but it will also generate a revenue stream which will allow us to expand and open new vocational training projects across the globe. We have one main goal: to provide the opportunity to these disadvantaged women around the world to establish a career for themselves and begin earning a substantial income with which they can support themselves and their families. However, to achieve this mission, we would need your help. We're kindly asking for your support in recruiting an international e-commerce expert who would be willing to sacrifice their time to help us launch this project and serve as a mentor to help us avoid the pitfalls of the e-commerce industry. With this support and this community, we will be able to ensure that no one is left struggling to earn a livelihood, no matter where they're from. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I would say to the audience members, in addition to voting for your audience favorite, when you hear a request for something specific, like an e-commerce expert, write that down. And if you have ideas, you can send them to me, Andy Atkinson, andy@atkinson.net, and I can forward them to the organizations involved. Our second fast pitch organization is Climb My Everest. So would the representative of Climb My Everest say a few words so that you come to the front of everyone's screen?
Hi, it's Climb Your Everest.
Okay, Climb Your Everest, and hang on a second. I will start the timer when you start going, Richard.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I want to ask a simple question. How many of you have mothers, sisters, and daughters, or women in your life in general? Now imagine if they lacked access to education, relied on a male figure for survival, or overall treated unfairly by society. This may not be the reality for the women in your life, but it's definitely the reality for women in other countries, specifically women in Nepal. They're more likely to experience domestic abuse, become victims of violent crimes, and have a high risk of becoming human trafficking victims. However, there is a woman by the name of Dr. Sarah Safari who wants to change the lives of marginalized women. My name is Richard Correll. I'm a student at UCLA, and I want to talk to you about Climb Your Everest. It's an organization that Dr. Safari started to empower women through training workshops, teaching many subjects that aim to give women a chance to succeed. These workshops are led by highly educated professionals who volunteer their time. They teach subjects in financial literacy, communication skills, leadership skills, computer science, and more. Climb Your Everest has trained and supported hundreds of women with great success. There's one woman in particular, before taking the training workshops, felt that she couldn't communicate well, or just overall scared to stand up in front of people to talk to them. After completing the training workshops, she now leads her own workshops, giving presentations in front of many people. There are many other success stories just like this. Dr. Safari herself was a marginalized woman growing up in Iran. She knows what it feels like and wants to change that for other women. Unfortunately, it takes money to organize and run these workshops. They were given in person because they tried doing an online version, but they couldn't create the same success. The reason is that the infrastructure in Nepal is not stable. They experience rolling blackouts often, which makes it difficult to teach online. Another reason is that the women can't afford a computer of their own. They're often sharing a single computer with the whole family, for which the males in the family actually have priority over. The last reason is that people just respond better when in person. The goal is to take these training workshops to other countries that women are marginalized in. With your support, we can help make a world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. So that was Climb Your Everest. I'll get that right. And our next presenter is Sustento. If the representative from Sustento, if you say a few words.
Yep. Hello, this is Sustento.
Good. So take a minute to get ready. And then when you start talking, I'll start the timer.
We all know about the American dream. For many of us, we might define this as getting a great job, buying a house, or being able to take care of our families. But for some Americans, their dream is just to be able to live a healthy life. When we think of healthcare, we think of going to a doctor and medicines that make us better. But we often forget all the other factors that impact a person's health and well-being, like having healthy foods readily accessible. This isn't a challenge that just a few Americans face. There are over 44 million Americans who struggle with hunger and are unable to access and pay for healthy foods. And in Sustento's clinic network, 82% of patients have the same experience. These individuals face so many other challenges in leading healthy lives, and having healthy foods shouldn't be one of them. At Sustento, our mission is to help healthcare workers save lives, and our vision is that no one falls through the cracks of the healthcare system. With doctor-approved grocery lists and transportation to grocery stores, we can drastically improve the outcome of patient lives and restore hope for their dreams. Our venture idea is to offer a federally recognized patient produce prescription program under the 2018 Farm Bill. Sustento, in partnership with Wholesome Wave, would provide the patient base and clinic network. Our clinics would identify patients that face food insecurity and be responsible for screening and enrolling them in the prescription service. Once at the clinic, patients receive a fruit and vegetable prescription and are then referred to a participating grocery or farmer's market, where they can double the value of their SNAP points with authorized purchases. In turn, this would increase the foot traffic and overall sales for local partner locations. Thus, we would agree to a small revenue split in which 10% of the sale value is given back in the form of a discount to the consumer, and 5% is for Sustento to run the venture. This venture would start in Sustento's existing free and charitable clinic network of 86 providers throughout the South and the entire US, with a plan to scale to over 1,200 clinics in the US, reaching over 2 million patients. While Sustento would be cash flow negative in the initial launch, we project a breaking point in year 2 once we have expanded to all clinics in Sustento's network. While it will take some effort to get off the ground, marketing and implementation costs can be covered by Wholesome Wave and by existing grant channels under the Gus Schumacher initiative to subsidize expenses. Sustento is perfectly poised to be the one to help to increase accessibility to healthy foods. And with a strong track record of developing models that can be scaled nationally and a clinic network with a high need for this solution, our clinic healthcare providers are deeply trusted by their patients and have local connections to grocery stores and farmers to help ensure patients are enrolled in these benefits. Through our venture, we hope to make sure that all patients in need get access to healthy food that is essential for their well-being, not only in our patient network, but throughout the entire US. With your support, we have the potential to create a brighter and more just future, allowing everyone to achieve their American dream. Together, let's make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Sustento for those of you taking notes at home. Our next fast pitch presenter is the Channel Islands Maritime Museum. And so I'll ask the presenter for the Maritime Museum to say a few words, to just put yourself up on the screen for everyone.
Here we are, ready to go.
Excellent. So when you start talking, I'll do the timer.
It was a cold, dark night when we hit that iceberg. We were supposed to be unsinkable. Many of the passengers had just finished what would be the last meal of their lives. What if you could go back and have dinner with them? At the Channel Islands Maritime Museum, our mission is to preserve and educate people about our rich maritime history and culture. What better way to understand history than to live it? The last dinner on the Titanic is a unique social event, an immersive dining experience that's designed to transport our guests back in time. Our museum is perfectly suited for this event. We have an elegant ship-style decor with oak walls, maritime artifacts, classic maritime art, and a beautiful waterfront view. Our passengers will come aboard to a champagne reception and tour our museum. We will immerse them in maritime history and begin moving them back in time. At 6 bells, they will proceed up the grand staircase to the dining room, where they will be served the authentic menu from that fateful night. A handful of actors and musicians planted amongst our guests will create live reenactments of actual passengers on the Titanic. And our guests will even have the opportunity to play the character of a real passenger on that ship if they so choose. This event builds community by promoting local artists, entertainers, and chefs. Will be given the opportunity to recreate historically accurate menus, enhancing their skills and offering them a high level of public exposure. Our financial projections indicate that this annual event will produce approximately $50,000 of profit, some of which will be reinvested to launch repeat events, ensuring sustainability and growth. Our estimated cost to develop the program, find the musicians, outfit the actors, and develop our culinary partnerships is just over $22,000. So we are inviting investors who have a passion for adventure to be part of this voyage. Our team is made up of dedicated volunteers and staff, and one thing we do best is events. In fact, we execute over 20 of them every year. At the Channel Islands Maritime Museum, we have the passion, the venue, and the team to make this dream a reality. With your support, we will transform our museum, bring our community together, and for a moment, we will bring history alive. Come aboard. I have your ticket right here.
Thank you very
And
much.
don't worry, I'm driving.
All right. So that was the Channel Islands Maritime Museum. Our next presenter is Miracle Flights. So if someone, the representative of Miracle Flights would say a word or two to come to the front.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so when you're ready, just start talking and I'll start the timer.
Imagine your child has a rare medical condition. There is one specialist who can help them, but they're on the other side of the country and you can't afford to fly there. That is where Miracle Flights comes in. We provide free commercial flights to sick children who can't afford to fly to their life-saving treatment. We provide about 700 flights per month for these children, who we call our Miracle Flyers. To expand our services and increase our exposure to families across the country, we've developed a product. That product is a children's coloring book, and it will feature illustrations by our Miracle Flyers, and it will tell their inspiring stories of perseverance. And a QR code in the back of the book will take children to a letter writing portal that allows them to connect with Miracle Flyers. Our product is more than a collection of pages. It's a tool to foster empathy among children and empower Miracle Flyers. We have everything in place to start producing and selling our product right now. W.H. Smith is an airport retailer and a longstanding partner of Miracle Flights. They currently produce and sell a teddy bear version of the Miracle Flights mascot named Miles the Bear. They sell about 300 Miles the Bear stuffed animals every month across 60 airport stores, and 100% of the profit goes to Miracle Flights. They've agreed to print our coloring book and sell it alongside Miles the Bear. We've also partnered with the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. founded by the legendary Warner Brothers cartoonist. They will donate the cover art for our coloring book and supplemental illustrations. Our product has two main customers. The first is families and airports. Our partnership with WH Smith will put us in 60 airports on day one, with the potential to grow to hundreds more within the first few years. And why are coloring books good products for families at airports? Well, they provide hours of entertainment for children, they're inexpensive, easy to transport, and our research shows that parents prefer their children to have coloring books over electronics while traveling. In airports, our product will connect children to Miracle Flyers and expose potential donors to Miracle Flight's incredible work. Our second customer is our corporate sponsors. We plan to sell our coloring books in bulk to our existing sponsors like Amgen and Southwest Airlines. We will then distribute those books to children's hospitals across the country, where they will comfort and entertain children undergoing treatment. And distributing our book widely across hospitals will make more families aware of Miracle Flight services. Our primary costs are the coloring book author, monthly marketing and technology that we'll use to boost sales in airports and beyond. Based on existing sales data from Miles the Bear stuffed animal, we project our break even to be about 6 months, and we'll start generating profit of about $120,000 by the third year. That amount of money would enable Miracle Flights to provide life-saving trips for over 250 children. We're seeking $30,000 to launch this venture. Every coloring book will help sick children receive life-saving treatment. Join us and let's give these children wings to soar. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Miracle Flights. And our next presenter is Arts of Life. If the presenter for Arts of Life would say a few words to come to the front of this screen.
Hello.
So when you're ready, I will start the timer.
Perfect. Art is an important tool for humans to freely express themselves and connect with others. Every artist, regardless of their background, should have equitable access to share their talent and pursue meaningful careers in the art space. At Arts of Life, our mission is clear: to empower artists with intellectual and developmental disabilities by providing them resources and a platform to express themselves and develop professionally. We address the pressing problem of the 60-month wait time for essential services such as job training, adaptive equipment, and community housing for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Arts of Life is one of the only progressive art studios to help secure artistic career developments in the contemporary art space. Our efforts align with the state of Illinois' initiatives aimed at enhancing the quality of life for all residents with disabilities. We currently support 70 talented artists within the professional arts community in Chicago. To help empower each individual artist's personal goals, we devised a dual approach in bringing two ventures together to address these challenges. Firstly, through the creation and sale of NFTs, we provide our artists with digital exposure and new revenue streams, leveraging the principle of scarcity in digital content. Our expected customers include millennials and art enthusiasts, tapping into the growing NFT and social investment market. Secondly, we aim to also offer high-quality prints of our artists' work to corporate clients nationwide. This not only showcases our artists' unique styles, but also erases the stigma associated with their disabilities and have them be viewed as professional artists. We plan to target corporate entities such as MasterCard and Uber Freight, who value community involvement and are already part of Arts of Life's board of directors. The biggest challenge we face is securing initial funding for marketing efforts and upfront costs for NFTs and corporate prints. However, with the right support, we believe we can overcome this hurdle and make a meaningful impact. Our approach yields tangible results as our ventures have an efficient cost structure with minimal investments needed to be made. In the first year alone, we project over $78,000 in revenue with a gross profit margin of 38%. By year 3, we anticipate nearly $70,000 in total profit. These funds directly contribute to supporting our artists' career development and sustaining our organization's impact. We seek to foster independence, professional growth, and personal wealth for artists who are often overlooked, while also creating a sustainable revenue stream to support our program's mission. Thank you.
Thank you. So for everyone in the audience, that was Arts of Life. And our final fast pitcher is organization Homeless Not Toothless. And so I will ask the presenter for Homeless Not Toothless to say a few words.
Okay, I am waiting for video.
Joseph, are you able to turn on the video for Dr. Grossman? There we go.
Wonderful. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Jay Grossman. I am the founder and CEO of Homeless Not Toothless, which is celebrating over 30 years as being a nonprofit. We are very proud of the fact that over the past 30 years or so, we have provided over $10 million of pro bono dental care to over 124,000 unhoused veterans, women of domestic abuse, and foster children. And after serving as a dental officer in the United States Navy and departing the military just after the Persian Gulf, which was in 1991, I opened my dental office walking distance from the VA hospital, which is right here in Los Angeles, right down the street from UCLA as well. I struggled for a very long time at what I should do when I passed the VA, and I saw somebody like a veteran with a sign that said something like, "Will you help?" And many of us have had that challenge. What do we do with that sign? Do we pass this person by? Do we give them $1? We're all concerned, if we were honest, that that dollar might be going to drugs and alcohol. So one day, as I was reaching into my wallet, I saw my business card. And instead of handing them $1, I handed them my card. And I said, my office is right down the street. Why don't you come in tomorrow morning? I'll get you out of pain. I'll give you a smile that'll allow you to eat and enable you to find employment. And like most nonprofits, our biggest struggle has always been raising funds. And the students identified a revenue source that was right in front of us, yet we missed it. And that is that most, if not all of our patients are Medi-Cal eligible, which means we could actually bill for these services to the government and we could collect hundreds of thousands of dollars, which means we've left millions of dollars on the table. So since I'm a professor at UCLA, I have the privilege of teaching an externship. This is where the fourth year dental students come to my office. It gives them the needed credit that the students are required to have to actually graduate. And what it does for the program is it gives us free labor. And because of that, we have operated every single year at single-digit overhead cost, averaging somewhere between 7 and 9% in any given year. And although we didn't qualify in the top 3 and we missed out on the $25,000 prize, during our ask over a week ago, we asked for $100,000, which was for the purpose of hiring the right person to finalize us so that we could actually become Medi-Cal eligible. And when I met with the students and we did a debrief, they were awesome. They said that although we didn't win, we know we left Homeless Not Toothless in a great place. To which I turned to them and said, well, we might not have won the prize, but just this morning I opened up the bank account, and because of our presentation, somebody donated anonymously $100,000. It's been an extraordinary relationship with the social entrepreneurship, and I am thrilled and honored to be part of it. Thank you for allowing us to participate.
Thank you very much, Dr. Grossman, and that is an amazing story. So, Joseph, I will ask you to launch the poll for voting, and I will turn over the control to Isabel to announce our keynote speaker.
Thank you. Well, I'm very excited to introduce Jody Dolan, our keynote speaker. I met Jody quite recently at an event, and after hearing her story, the first thought that came to my mind was Jody is a perfect example of what a social entrepreneur is. And she's here locally in Los Angeles. So really, Jody exemplifies the commitment to creating positive change. And she's the founder of 3 successful companies, Dolan Scrubs, a laundry truck in Los Angeles, which is a nonprofit organization. So she's also has for-profit and nonprofit entities that she's involved with. And the mission around or the entities that she created is around helping restore dignity and self-esteem. So she'll tell more her story and what these organizations are about. With no further ado, because I want to make sure we give Jody as much time as we can to share her story. Thank you so much, Jody, for being here tonight with us, and and it's a privilege to hear your story again.
Thank you so much, Isabel. And can you hear me okay and see me okay? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so inspired by you all. UCLA Social Enterprise Academy. I wish I had this when I went to UCSB, but here we are, So let me start with the word impact. It's a word everybody on this call certainly knows a lot about. It's everywhere as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as creators, as students. We're all expected to have some or make some. So I'm going to tell you my story of impact in 3 chapters. My bedazzled era, the streets of Skid Row, and the surprise that COVID brought. All right, chapter 1 is 2004. I'm on the floor of my garage. I'm hand painting t-shirts, 100 of them, all through the night, and sewing crystals all over them when bedazzling was having a moment, which I guess it still is if you're a Swiftie, but otherwise not so much. And these bedazzled t-shirts actually were on their way to Saks Fifth Avenue. They were part of my very first order as a business owner, my very first order to Saks, my very first many things. And I was able to turn this order and this little fledgling company with a staff of 1 into a real legit, profitable, 8-figure women's wholesale fashion business, selling to retailers like Saks, Nordstrom, Neiman's, Barney's New York, Anthropologie. And this went on for many, many years, collection after collection, designing clothes that hopefully women would feel beautiful in and confident and modern and cool. And it was exhausting, but also, I was growing a company and I was really proud of that until about 2019. And I launched a passion project and something inside me started to shift. I began to think about actually just making a difference. My idea was simple. I wanted to help restore dignity and self-esteem for people experiencing homelessness by way of a mobile laundry truck. But let me back up. I had been running this company profitably, growing, experiencing, all the success that comes with running this women's fashion business. But it wasn't really aligning with me and who I was and who I was becoming. And I was pretty disillusioned and I was pretty burnt out, actually. And so I started to look around for something that I could just really connect with and something that mattered to me. Cut to chapter 2. I'm on Skid Row. I'm volunteering nights after work, first showing up at the Burger King on Cesar Chavez near downtown, making sandwiches with groups of amazing volunteers, and then bringing it all down to Skid Row and getting to know the community. So it was the procedure with this group that I was with. We would stand in a semicircle around the table of food that we had all just made. And there would be a line of people going out in front of us for blocks and blocks, patiently waiting for this very simple meal. And when the person got to the front of the line, they would be asked to announce their name. And then we collectively would welcome them to the front of the line, like, hello, Margarita, or hello, Mario, all in unison, all really loud, totally a spectacle at night on Skid Row. And it was something about saying the name, looking, somebody in the eyes, handing them a meal that we just made, and getting to know some of the issues that they were struggling with that really humanized this whole massive issue of homelessness. And it really sort of brought it all into focus and humanized it. And it made me want to do more. And I didn't know what that was going to be, but I knew if I focused on it, I would find a meaningful way to make a few people's lives a little bit easier. So night after night, after volunteering and after making the meals and handing out the meals, I would be asking this question to anybody that would listen to me, like my friends that were experts in homelessness, the universe, like anybody. What can I do? What can Dolan, my company, do? Fashion company, like what can we do that would be meaningful and helpful and filling in a gap and something that's not already being done? And so we went through, of course, a million ideas. And finally, one day, after about 1.5 years, I had my light bulb moment. I was volunteering with the Shower of Hope, which is an incredible organization. They run the mobile showers downtown. Those are the showers you can pop into and have a 10-minute warm shower if you're unhoused. And I was handing out towels this day, and I handed a woman a towel, and she went in, she took a shower, she came out, and she looked so renewed and refreshed and clean. You know how good you feel when you get out of the shower. And then I watched her put her very dirty clothes right back on. And it was in this moment that the Laundry Truck LA was born. And the idea was just an idea at the beginning, and we turned it into a reality. And we were one of the first in the world to do it at the time in 2018. And we started serving many of the same people we saw in Skid Row: men, women, young, old. But over the last few years, we've now started serving single moms, families, and a lot of kids. Did you know actually that there are over 10,000 unhoused kids in LA County alone? We didn't know that, but now we have dedicated services that go right to the schools and do laundry for kids, for the students and their families, through one of our partnerships is with LAUSD. So it started with this simple idea and turned into a real, legitimate 7-day-a-week nonprofit. We have 3 trailers. We have completed over 400,000 pounds of laundry, washed, dried, and folded to date. Larry Carter, one of our guests in downtown LA, shared with me once that after being unhoused for so many years, some of the best help he had received is from the Laundry Truck LA, because he said just walking into the grocery store when you're clean, people look at you differently. So they just treat you and look at you differently. And I've never forgotten that. And for me, everything changed in this experience. I realized the power that we have as business owners, as students, as creators, as just citizens, the power that we have to make a difference in the world. And it planted the seed. And I thought, okay, what if I can take the same intention and apply it to my fashion business? What would that look like? What if I took my 20 years of experience of, design and fit and manufacturing and textiles and focused on changing people's lives through apparel? What would that be? Cut to chapter 3. COVID-19 kicked off with a huge oh shit moment for me. I will never forget it. It was March 2020, and I'm looking at my email inbox, and it's like an avalanche of emails. Like I've never seen anything like it, like so fast, just like filling my email inbox. Cancel, 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 like millions of dollars worth of canceled dresses and tops and skirts that all those retailers I just had mentioned now canceled on me. All inventory that I owned now sitting in my warehouse that had nobody to sell it to. So, of course, after my oh my God, what do I do? I had a moment, I paused, and then I was like, I'm gonna figure this out, right? We're gonna figure this out. So I hustled and my team hustled, and we found every single opportunity we could to keep our manufacturing facilities busy. And ultimately, we were one of the very first to market with masks, consumer-facing masks. We made massive amounts of masks and gowns. Okay, great. Everybody kept working. But the surprise of it all was that it put us directly in contact and in front of healthcare professionals from all over the country. And they candidly shared with me that their scrubs, the uniforms they're wearing to work every day, they didn't fit well. They weren't comfortable. They didn't have great options. And the leading brand in the space was not making necessarily the best scrubs. And their values didn't align with this brand's values. And so out of this, Dolan Scrubs was born. Dolan Scrubs is now committed to helping restore self-confidence to healthcare professionals by providing the world's best fitting scrubs. We have the world's most inclusive size range from extra, extra, extra small through 6X, soon to be 7 and 8X, with 5 inseams and curve fits and petite fits. And we genuinely hear thank yous from our customers because of this inclusivity every day. In fact, I talked to a customer recently and she said, Jody, I had tears in my eyes when I put Dolan Scrubs on for the first time. She said, after being a nurse for 20 years, nobody had ever made scrubs to fit my body. And then she went on to say she's plus size and that when she started nursing, she wasn't self-conscious of her body at all because everybody was wearing these baggy scrubs. And then a brand came along and started making skinny scrubs. And so many of her coworkers started wearing these skinny scrubs and she couldn't fit into them because they only went up to extra, extra large. And so she said for 15 years, she had felt like an outsider until we came along and we made something that helped her feel confident and comfortable and cute and professional. And we hear the same story day in and day out, different body considerations, but the same, result, which is our customers feel seen and heard. And it's a really proud moment for us to get these messages and have these conversations every day. But why am I sharing all this with you? Well, everybody here on this call, we are all powerful creators, entrepreneurs, students, leaders, and we can dream up these big ideas and we have the power to put them into action. And I just want to share, my intention is to share with you how I think about disruption and innovation and ultimately impact by thinking first about, of course, the need, where's the need, but then really defining the experience and the emotion that I want my customers to have at the end of it all. And to share that there's big business and impact, and this is really important, that you can make an impact in so many different ways. For example, let me share with you some of the numbers of the scrubs industry so you can see what I'm talking about. The category itself is a $16 billion total addressable market in the US, 80 billion or bigger worldwide. In the US, 14 million Americans are wearing scrubs every day. And there are 1 or 2 companies that lead with innovation. So you have millions of Americans with very few options. And just by us helping our customers, men and women, feel comfortable on their 8 to 12-hour shifts, we have this $16 billion opportunity. And I recognize it's a gift after being in an industry for so long. It's really a gift to have a business with a really engaged and happy customer base, one that it makes it a joy to do customer service. That's not always the case, but it's totally the case here. And we have a 1-for-1, so we're able to also give back and support the Laundry Truck LA through every single purchase. And in addition to it, I have a thriving business. We're on track to do well over 50 million in revenue in the next 5 years. So I want to share with you and hope that when we all think about business and the programs that we're creating, when we think about this through the lens of how can we help, we always will build more sustainable businesses and really attract the right customers, the right partners, the right investors, finance. It all really comes together. So thank you so much for listening. I don't know if anybody has questions for me, but I would be happy to answer any questions. And I really, truly would love to hear more about what you all are working on. So I do hope everybody follows up with me via social media or LinkedIn or whatever channels that you're on.
So Jody, thank you very much. And for people looking to get in touch with you, they can do that through me. So I'll work with Isabel. And so everyone,
Awesome.
People know how to do that. And so you're a UCSB grad?
I am. I'm a Gaucho.
At least the University of California alum. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So at this time, we'd like to announce the various winners of this event. I am going to start with announcing the audience favorite from the poll. And then I will turn it over to Archie Holton to summarize what the judges said. So I, as a co-host of this meeting, I got to see the results of the voting for audience favorite, and they were very close. Quite a few organizations were very much in the running for audience favorite, but Miracle Flights ended up winning the audience favorite award. So I would like to congratulate Miracle Flights. And with that, Archie, can I turn it over to you to discuss the conclusion of the judges regarding our 3 finalists?
Yeah, they said they were giving me all the money. No, not the case. So can I have the judges turn on your camera so you can they do that? There we go. There we go. I'm missing one. There we go. Okay, there we go. So first of all, I'm going to deliver the message that the judges loved all of the presentations. Right? Everybody nod or whatever, thumbs up, whatever. Like literally, they loved all the presentations, and that was really great. I'm going to do this in reverse order. CASA, you were awarded 3rd place and $5,000. Second, Game Heads, you were awarded $10,000, which would tell you that last, but first place is Grow Cycle at $15,000. So we acknowledge all of you. We didn't get a chance to see your fast pitch, but we know that they were extraordinary. So thank you to the judges. I acknowledge them in the other room. We want to thank you for your time, your expertise. I'm going to deliver something straight from Chris, which is bring the heart. Don't do the sales stuff.